Hey everyone, how you going? It's Ben here from Second Dynasty. Hopefully you can see me alright and hear me alright. Let me know in the chat if this is the case. I apologize for being slightly late today. I'm a little bit stressed and this is going to be a shorter session. The long and short of it I'll show you in just a little bit. But for now, hi, how's everyone going? Hope you're having a wonderful Friday. Sight and sound, great, thanks Doug. So we've got quite a few people in the chat, so say g'day now if you want, and I'll give you a shout out. I'm just waiting for Maya to load up, and I just took a video in next door, which I think will be quite encouraging and blow you guys away. I've been having a lot of fun with just expanding this set, to be perfectly honest. It's been a long time since I've just enjoyed playing in Maya and creating new things. So, yeah, we've got about 5 days left of the campaign. I kind of wish it was more like 2 weeks, so I could really, give this some more of a go. Let me switch the camera over to Maya. And we're going to look at some of the new pieces I'm working on at the moment. It's a bit of a mashup, but we'll go over it. Some of this is set up for rendering, and some of it is just sort of experimenting. So I'm going to explain it in a second. But before we get to that, I think it might be important to just note that my manufacturer is having a Black Friday sale. So, yeah. Use the code in the description below and you can get anything in our catalog on the storefront on my manufacturer at 50% off. Best time of the year to pick up big ships. I haven't done a ton of advertising for that. It is kind of inconvenient where you want to sort of promote tribes, you want to promote the campaign, of course, which I don't think I've even gotten a page up for at the moment. Maybe I have. Let's see, is this a Kickstarter one? Operation Maelstrom. Shuttle Alpha Mark IV. Here we go. Here's an Exoplanet one. So, what a great number. In fact, this is kind of feels like a 222. Kind of want to give you guys a bonus. I mean, 2 or 22 or 222, it's kind of like a known thing with Second Dynasty that we like to do. Some additional benefits. It looks like we're about 160 euros away from the next stretch goal. But I have some posed miniatures of Maddie Walker in a spacesuit with her tools. I wasn't quite sure where I wanted to put them, so I'm just going to put it up as a bonus item, I think. Anyway, let me get back to the chat so I'm not missing it. I completely lost it. Where did it go? There we go. Alright, so, let's see. Who's there? G'day. We've got the Macho Bit. Or Macho Bit. We've got Shergel here. We've got Kathy. Hey, Kathy, you made it. Nice. Doug Jeffries is here. Clive is here. Brian is here. What, is there something wrong with the microphone, Kathy? Or is it just my voice that sounds weird? I don't know. Better make sure it's the right microphone. Let's see. It made me a little paranoid. That looks like the right one. Maybe the connection's not in properly or it's in a different spot. I don't know. Let me know what you mean by that, Kathy. Oh, I've got no idea why it says that after your name. Maybe it has something to do with... No, I've got no idea. Sorry. So, the campaign we currently have on Kickstarter is GridForge Exoplanet Colony. It focuses on our GridForge system, which Kathy Millett and that Blasted Camouflage and even Games Art are currently using. It is compatible with OpenLock. But it is cooler than OpenLock because you can do some hot swapping of tiles. You can choose to lock them in place. You can choose how tight you want the sort of friction fit to be, or if you want it loose, or if you want to make sure you could basically flip it upside down. Those are options. And I think we want to get off the comments there. I have been sprucing up the graphics just a little bit. I've been counting parts. And with all the stretch goals and that, I haven't even exported them to STLs yet. So it's going to be probably in the 700 part range, I'd guess. Don't be intimidated by that. It's just a bunch of variants, to be perfectly honest. So there are like 7 different styles to begin with. And then they each have tons of parts each. But it'll be like, oh, this type of corner, that type of corner, the mirrored version, you know. So it all adds up. Again, if you want to test it out, we have designed for color 3D printing, and sorry, I was just distracted by the chat for a second. I'm a bit all over the place, and honestly, it's been a week. I won't get into details, and I'm probably still going to end the stream at 4 because I do have a engagement to get to. But yeah, here you can download a sample of the boardroom, which shows how we do our color setup. Now, just to be clear, GridForge itself is free. The some sample tiles and all of the grids, the clips, they're free, available forever. They're under Creative Commons license 4.0, and then we also have like a very simple free license for people that want to make additional tiles. So basically, you can make money off creating unique tiles if you wish to, or you can do it for free if you want, but and it should all be compatible with each other, at least definitely on the floor side of things. And we're already seeing some incredible designs, and tooting my own horn, some of them are coming from me. So some of the areas I want to show you today include the modules for the lower colony, prefab colony. There's a lot more than just these parts because we also have corners done. They're all test printed. I'm going to show some of that off today. Some of it I can't because I installed it. The hot tub is prototyped as well. Many of these parts are prototyped. And what I mean by that is test printed. And I have made a few new parts today that I'm going to show off, although I'll also mention the issues I have with it. So if you want to check that out, the link is in the description below, sorry. And you can peruse the Kickstarter page at your own leisure. And I'm really proud of this effort. I'm definitely going to work in color from now on. It just makes sense. It looks cooler. I understand, it does require a bit of an investment, like say in an AMS or in, getting additional filament. But you could also be spending that money on paint and your time, which I won't be doing anymore. We'll still paint miniatures because color SLA is definitely unaffordable, and it doesn't always look that great. But yeah, for all of this terrain and that sort of thing, like I don't see why not. And it also means it's going to affect the way we design some parts, like optimized for color printing. And what I'm going to show you in a minute is definitely one of those areas. So what we actually have here is I'm working on a new stretch goal. Several actually. You might have seen the renders for my sort of decontamination room. If I had more time, I would set this up so that I can actually use an atomizer underneath, so you can actually get some steam coming up. I think from the floors is probably more sensible than trying to create, piping that works. Atomizers aren't super accurate. They're good for like a train smokestack or, general vents and that sort of thing. And they're not super strong. The ones I got for Persephone, though, were definitely a bit stronger, I found. Though I think in part it's just to do with the amount of water you can actually pack into those. So this is the actual area set up for render. So part of the wall is missing, but you can now see it in 3D a little bit better. There's actually these sort of glass areas, which I'm just going to do in a transparent PLA. So I'm looking forward to making that happen. And the inspiration for this one is kind of like this. At a certain part in Alien Isolation, there's this decontamination room, and it's very much sort of like that's the chief inspiration. Now, I kind of hate it, though, that Shergall pointed out that these doors can't open properly, so I'll probably address that before moving on. Thanks for that, Shergall. Maybe the door part will be in the next section. I don't know. I need to figure that one out. Or move the windows forward or something. I don't know. Thanks for that. My particular brand of ism is not going to be able to unsee that. Another really cool development is some additional outside pieces to test out. There is some intersection here. That's not my point. So I'm just showing you some of the new parts. Go through past live streams if you want to see more details. But one of the issues we've had from the get-go is when you have two stories, we have these exposed GridForge clip holes that we want to disguise somehow. So one of the ways I came up with that is to put like a catwalk on the outside. So I'm working on a modular catwalk, and you'll be seeing that shortly. Also, because the back of the walls, especially in the garage and the executive suite, I'm planning to maybe implement this with all of them as well. They just slide down like so through these sort of channels at the back. So these are some alternative designs I'm working on. This one is a 2 square wide version, and I think maybe I will switch to my show and tell camera. Let's see. Movable camera. You can see the mess we have in here. We've got a lot of air conditioning. This is gonna have trouble focusing it. I really got to like cover up these models or something because it's just not doing well. But you can kind of see I just did this overnighter and did 12 units. They came out really nicely. How do these connect? These are actually tiles that fit into the exterior of the corridors. So we also have some solar panels as another option. And again, like, this is one of the brilliant things about 3D printing in filament, because you can have like a matte like panel, then you can have like a silver mount area. I think it's easier to see here. Or actually, I just printed out an even taller one here. So we'll see if it focuses or not. But you get the gist. The blue reflective silk material really gives it that more solar panel-y look. You can see some here in the background already mounted. And yeah, a ton of different interior options for the insides of these are the lower walls. I haven't done any variants for those yet, but for the upper walls, I've gone back and changed the design slightly. It still needs some refinement because you might be able to see, actually it might be a bit hard. Let's see if I can maybe get some backlighting. So I don't know if this is going to be too bright. Probably. You can kind of just see there on the edge lighting how there's like those lines, the lighter lines, where there's actually a slight gap. It worked a lot better with the lower levels. I'll need to check how thick this is, but for example, and this may break because of that, but I'm going to show you how these, like we've got a panel here, I'm just cleaning it up really quick. And by that I just mean like using my Trimmers 1.0, the Mark 1 fingernail. So you just slot it into the side there, and then you can snap it into place. These are quite tight, so you either press down with your nail, or if you want to be extra safe, you can try using some tweezers. So I just press the edges in, and I might have needed to shave these down just a tad more. Of course, it always works until you're on the live stream. So let's try this again. I think this is a better edge. Why won't you go in? Is this the older one? Just got to use a little bit of brute force. So it is maybe, it needs a little bit more work for the tolerances, or it could also be that I didn't put a rack nail on or something like that. But yeah, they're a lot tighter now, a lot more permanent. And then the solar panels and that just come in and snap the same way. So I'm going to... You heard the click, that's what we want to hear. That indicates to me that we got it right. Much better. But if I'm not too careful, it'll push right through. So you can now see it's mounted on the wall. We haven't taken the supports off. Sorry, the mouse ears off the bottom. I don't need the mouse ears. It's just like, it feels like a safety measure if you're going to do a full overnight print with a bunch of stuff. It's more about saving filament in the end run. Long run. Jeez. English, Ben. English. Alright. So then that fits down into the frame. Got one there. You can also see some of the interior variants. I think I might have shown those off last week. Maybe I didn't. I can't remember. But that will just fit down into the frame. Like so. It actually needs a bit more cleanup than what I did. And you can see the other side is just blank. So you can have your choice of what to put in. And yeah, a bunch of other variants and that sort of thing. Some of them look really cool. I did snap a few photos that I'll show you in a little bit. Did some red ones as well. Like a ventilation one. Yeah, let's see. What else do we have? Yeah. So, that's getting along nice. You can see it's a bit chaotic at the moment. It was even more so before. Now, this is what I was just showing off on in Maya. So this is the new wall that slots down. You can kind of see the nooks. Problem is, I used an older model in Maya, so unfortunately, let's see, maybe I can get that to focus a bit better. So I just used a combination of like a very light grey and a copper metal filament, so a matte and metal. So you can get that reflection off the metal side, and the filament itself for the matte is more like a concrete type panel. I promise you, when it is sharpened and there's not so much light, I think I can maybe turn down the light on this thing. I can't remember how. Oh, I can turn the light off and it actually works a lot nicer. Let's see if that'll focus. Focus, please. Anyway, you get the idea. I think you could vaguely mark out, see the panels there. So, yeah, even that light's very bright. I don't know, it looks so much better in real life. Trust me, bro. Trust me. Anyway. So I'm going to have to change this piece in particular. But I kind of like the way it comes out. It is made also to cover 2 at a time. And a part of my thinking with that is you could actually use these to help a little bit with light bleed. And I'm thinking on Persephone, you could actually have hull plating. And if you're doing like one tile here that's too wide and one that's too wide there, if you put a 2x2 plating in the middle, you're actually helping to block out the light, which is really good on ships, because one of the issues I've had in the past is just a little bit of light trickle in an undesired place, especially towards the top. You can also see here how I cheat in renders. That's actually what animation's all about, faking it. But you can't do that normally with 3D models. So I anticipate there being a bunch of different options here with these plug-in sections. They print lovely, very quickly. I've only done the monofilament so far. Why don't we try and dig up the video I just took? Because I don't want to... Let's see, this is the one from last time. I'm just going to switch it out.
Tour.
There we go. I think I was talking over myself there for a second. So if I change this one to... Let's see, there should be a fresh new video somewhere here. I think this is it. Let's see, is today the 21st? Yes, it is. I haven't seen this yet, so we'll see if it's in focus or not. I guess it's got to download first too. For some reason it wasn't synced, probably because I've got low hard drive space. Ramp, says Shergle. Oh, a ramp down. Yeah, that's a possibility. Okay, let me see. Let's go to this. Alright, stressful day, but for good reason. I got a nice little gift in the mail, which is exactly what I've been waiting for. And I thought I'd try out the new miniatures in the executive suite and in various places. You can compare the Alien Evolved Edition RPG miniatures. Here the grey ones, some painted ones with some from Another Day in the core. We've got our Colonial Marines coming to the rescue. At least we think so. Because it might have a nasty surprise down there. This is also showing off some of the cool things I've built in the most recent weeks. Particularly, you can see down here. Is it a lower section? Got this scaffolding. Got another little bit here. Just test prints at the moment. And let's see, we've got another Alien RPG miniature there. I think these are all just ours. But in the vehicle bay, we've got a couple. We've got some mechanics discussing maybe how to repair the vehicles. We've got a comparison of different power loader sizes. I'm just going to say mine's bigger than yours. And then we've got another nice mechanic miniature here. They're slightly a bit small for 28mm, to be honest. But still fit quite nicely with our own 28mm. And then we've got here in the power core a few more miniatures in comparison to one of ours. Let's see if we can get the focus right. There we go. I want to work more on the lighting and setting things up a bit better. But I'm excited to see the progress, and I can't wait for my players to get to play a scenario in this by the end of the year. So I didn't actually look at the chat, but I'm guessing you guys probably heard some artifacts. I think it's based on how, like, what the frame rate is, and that it just can't handle it with the streaming. So sorry about that. I might upload it separately, although I'm slightly hesitant considering. I last time when I re-uploaded it, it worked fine. So I hope that's going to be the case this time. So I'm running out of time. I have been busy as a beaver. We've only got 5 days left, and I guess I'll be spending some of the weekend working on this as well, just to prepare a few more stretch goals. I think we're just shy of 16k at the moment. And I'll probably keep the stretch goals close to €1,000 because they're quite manageable, I feel, and this is like a playground I want to explore a little bit more. So yeah, sorry for that choppy voice and for the late stream and everything else. I wish you guys could see in person how awesome it actually looks. But yeah, we're going to have to cut things short now. Thank you for joining me this week. I'll be back next week with well, actually, we'll have the final hours live stream late night on Wednesday. So that will be the next live stream. And then we'll probably do a regular Friday show, unless I feel absolutely exhausted or whatnot. So thanks again for joining me. It's wonderful to see you guys. Sorry I couldn't interact with you a bit more this time. But hopefully you've had a good update. Check the links below. And again, Black Friday sale. I think it goes until December 8th, if I'm not mistaken. 50% off our entire STL store on my mini factory, including bundles, but does not include tribes or frontiers. Otherwise, check out the campaign. Give it a heart. Follow it along. Follow the progress and see what amazing things we're about to unlock. So, thanks again, guys. Have a great weekend. Bye for now.